We are only a few days into the federal election campaign, but housing is already top of mind for the party leaders. Liberal leader Mark Carney announced last week he intends to eliminate GST for first-time home buyers.
Now, this is a big deal because first-time home buyers are the major purchasers of new and substantially renovated homes. This can provide up to $50,000 in savings for families entering the housing market.
While the ongoing trade war and tensions with our neighbors to the south will dominate the campaign, how much can we expect to hear on housing from the main party leaders? So we've got more on this with Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa. There you go. Look at that hat. Good morning to you, Frank.
It starts with that. It starts with Canada's not for sale for all political leaders. We're a sovereign nation, and leave us alone. And you want to put tariffs on us, put tariffs on us. But there are other trading partners, so it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting next 6 weeks, for sure.
Okay. Let's start off, Frank, right off the top here. Liberal Party leader Mark Carney promising a GST tax exemption on first-time home buyers. What do you think about that?
Well, I love it. I mean, any way we can get first-time home buyers. More young Canadians I speak with, more of them are losing hope as to whether they can become homeowners in the future. So, when you look at what the Conservatives have offered, though, they've done it on anybody who's buying a house, where the Liberals, I think, have come out with the first-time, only for first-time home buyers. So I kind of like the Conservatives' approach better because you could be a second-time home buyer because you may have gone through a marital breakup.
That's true.
So why shouldn't you be able to get the break too? So from that standpoint, I mean, I'd like to see the GST eliminated across the board on homes under $1 million.
Okay, what about NDP leader Jagmeet Singh announcing that he promises to open up federal land and build houses on federal land and build below market rate housing? What do you think about that?
Well, again, young Canadians are looking for affordable ways to be able to have housing, whether it's renting or whether it's owning. Preferably, they'd like to own. But if they can rent and have a reasonable rent and be able to save some money so that they can aspire to get to home ownership, there's nothing wrong with that. And as much as Jagmeet Singh has proposed it, I'd love to see the other parties adopt it as well and use some of the federal land. Listen, our country is huge. We have so much land. Why not put it to work? And why not use it for affordable housing so young Canadians can aspire to become homeowners at some point?
And what do you think about mortgage rates, which have gone down? I mean, the last Bank of Canada announcement, it went down 25 basis points. So it would appear that it's continuing on that lowering trend. Do you think that any of the leaders can do anything about interest rates and as far as it goes with mortgages?
Well, tariffs are going to have a big part in that. So I think what the governments need to do is make sure that we minimize the tariffs as much as possible. I don't know that playing the game of, well, you put a 25%, we'll put 25%, because Donald Trump has said if we put 25%, he'll raise it to 50%. I don't know that game helps anyone at all, because ultimately what ends up happening is the consumers, the taxpayers, end up paying those tariffs. So it makes life less affordable for everyone. But I truly believe that from a mortgage rate standpoint, rates should come down a little bit more. When the inflation was at all-time levels, we saw prime rate go up 4.75%. So far, we've gotten most of that come back down. There's still some room to go. We're still about 2.5 percentage points, so half of it has come back. But we need interest rates to continue to come down, because I think the leaders need to understand that we're hitting a period where 5 years ago, anybody that got a mortgage from the middle of 2020 right up until the middle of 2022 got mortgage rates in the neighborhood of 1.5% to 2%. If the mortgages are now coming up for renewal and now they're at 4% on a mortgage, it's going to impact them tremendously. And everything else is so expensive around us. So I hope they acknowledge that and they help out in some format, whether it's some payment reliefs or anything that can help Canadians stay in their homes. Because the one thing about Canadians, once you get into a home, you don't want to give it up. You want to stay in it. So,
Frank Napolitano from Mortgage Brokers Ottawa. It's always a pleasure talking real estate and mortgages with you every week. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
All right.